Emperor Diocletian and Maximian appoint Constantius Chlorus and Galerius as Caesars, the beginning of the Tetrarchy. Louis V becomes the last Carolingian king of West Francia after the death of his father Lothair. Empress Gensho abdicates the throne in favor of her nephew Shomu, who becomes Emperor of Japan. Yang Jian declares himself Emperor Wen of Sui, ending the Northern Zhou and beginning the Sui dynasty. Roberto Confrese, one of the last successful Caribbean pirates, is defeated in combat and captured by authorities. The Supreme Court of the United States rules 7-2 in the Dred Scott v. Sanford case that the Constitution does not confer citizenship on black people. Marcus Aurelius and L. Commodus become joint emperors of Rome. At the Battle of Aboukir, a British force under Sir Ralph Abercrombie lands in Egypt with the aim of ending the French campaign in Egypt and Syria. First known mention of Lithuania in the annals of the monastery of Quedlinburg. Roman Emperor Maximian concludes his campaign in North Africa and makes a triumphal entry into Carthage. Padua, led by John Hawkwood, is victorious over Giovanni Ordelaffi of Verona in the Battle of Castagnaro. Election of Urban II as the 159th Pope of the Catholic Church, best known for initiating the Crusades. The Battle of Bada, the first major battle between the Muslims and Quraysh. Dukes Geza and Ladislaus defeat their cousin Solomon, King of Hungary, in the Battle of Mogorod, forcing him to flee into Hungary's western borderland. After a 10-year truce, German King Henry the Fowler defeats a Hungarian army at the Battle of Riade near the Unstrut River. Launch of the Gemini 8 with astronauts Neil Armstrong and David Scott. The Pulitzer Prize-winning photograph Burst of Joy is taken. The Roman Senate annuls Tiberius's will and proclaims Caligula emperor. The Statute of Rhuddlan incorporates the Principality of Wales into England. Eyjafjallajökull in Iceland begins eruptions that would last for 3 months, heavily disrupting air travel in Europe. China Eastern Airlines Flight 5735 crashes in Guangxi, China, killing 132 people. The Japanese forces of the Taira clan are defeated by the Minamoto clan in the Battle of Yashima. Waltham Abbey is surrendered to King Henry VIII of England, the last religious community to be closed during the dissolution of monasteries. Turco-Mongol Emperor Timur sacks Damascus. The southern Yan capital of Guanggu falls to the Jin dynasty general Liu Yu, ending the southern Yan dynasty. Saladin becomes the emir of Egypt. Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon reaches the northern end of the Bahamas on his first voyage to Florida. Juan Bautista de Anza finds the site for the Presidio of San Francisco. King Gustav III of Sweden dies after being shot in the back at midnight masquerade ball at Stockholm's Royal Opera 13 days earlier. Edward I sacks Berwick-upon-Tweed during an armed conflict between Scotland and England. Queen Isabella of Castile issues the Alhambra decree, ordering her 150,000 Jewish and Muslim subjects to convert to Christianity or face expulsion. Alexios I Komnenos overthrows the Byzantine Emperor Nicephorus III Botaniatus, and his troops spend 3 days extensively looting Constantinople. Commodore William James captures the Maratha fortress of Suvarnadurg on the west coast of India. The Maya king, Yuknum Yikak Ka'ak, assumes the crown of Calakmul. The Maya king Unachan of Calakmul sacks the rival city-state Palenque in southern Mexico. During the Battle of the Ice of Lake Peipus, Russian forces, led by Alexander Nevsky, rebuff an invasion attempt by the Teutonic Knights. Stilicho defeats the Visigoths under Alaric in the Battle of Palencia. Attila the Hun captures Metz in France, killing most of the inhabitants and burning the town. Roger II of Sicily is excommunicated by Innocent II for supporting Anacletus II as Pope for 7 years. The Mongol Yuan forces are defeated by Tran forces in the Battle of Bac Dang in present-day northern Vietnam. Nestorius becomes the Patriarch of Constantinople. William III and Mary II are crowned as joint sovereigns of Great Britain. Shapur I becomes co-emperor of the Sasanian Empire with his father Ardashir I. Constantinople falls to the Crusaders of the Fourth Crusade, temporarily ending the Byzantine Empire. At the Battle of Terek River, Timur defeats the army of the Golden Horde, beginning the Khanate's permanent military decline. A Confederate Irish militia is routed at the Battle of Kilrush when it attempts to halt the progress of a royalist army. Stefan Dusan the Mighty is crowned Emperor of the Serbs at Skopje, his empire occupying much of the Balkans. The Ellis Island Immigration Center processes 11,747 people, more than on any other day. Peace of Ferrara between Venice, Milan, Florence and Gonzaga, ending the second campaign of the wars in Lombardy. The freedman Emilicus betrays Piso's plot to kill the Emperor Nero, and all of the conspirators are arrested. Two Austrian army corps in Bavaria are defeated by a First French Empire army led by Napoleon at the Battle of Ebensburg. The Diocese of Pisa is elevated to the rank of Metropolitan Archdiocese by Pope Urban II. The use of poison gas in World War I escalates when chlorine gas is released as a chemical weapon in the Second Battle of Ypres. Edmund Ironside succeeds his father Ethelred the Unready as King of England. The first regular newspaper in British colonial America, the Boston Newsletter, is published. After mistreatment and disfigurement by the citizens of Rome, Pope Leo III flees to the Frankish court of King Charlemagne at Paderborn for protection. Francesco Petrarch ascends Mont Ventoux. Emperor Arcadius marries Aelia Eudoxia, daughter of the Frankish general Flavius Borto. King Ardashir I defeats Artabanus V, destroying the Parthian Empire and establishing the Sassanid dynasty. Gran Canaria, the main island of the Canary Islands, is conquered by the Kingdom of Castile. Enguerrand de Marigny is hanged at the instigation of Charles, Count of Valois. The Hong Kong Police Force, the world's second modern police force and Asia's first, is established. A de Havilland Comet makes the first jet airliner flight with fare-paying passengers from London to Johannesburg. The Mayan king Bird Jaguar IV of Yaxchilan in modern-day Chiapas, Mexico, assumes the throne. The Augustinian monastic order is constituted at the Loreto Monastery when Pope Alexander IV issues a papal bull. The government of Sudan signs an accord with the Sudan Liberation Army. The siege of Cuzco commences, in which Incan forces attempt to retake the city of Cuzco from the Spanish. The Jewish revolt against Constantius Gallus breaks out after his arrival at Antioch. Recared I opens the Third Council of Toledo, marking the entry of the Visigothic Spain into the Catholic Church. The figure who would later become Mr. Punch makes his first recorded appearance in England. The Parliament of Great Britain passes the Tea Act, designed to save the British East India Company by reducing taxes on its tea and granting it the right to sell tea directly to North America. William Lawson, Gregory Blackson and William Wentworth discover a route across the Blue Mountains, opening up inland Australia to settlement. Pope Stephen I succeeds Pope Lucius I, becoming the 23rd Pope of the Catholic Church, and immediately takes a stand against Novantianism. Julian of Norwich has visions of Jesus while suffering from a life-threatening illness. Henry III of England is captured and forced to sign the Mise of Lewes, making Simon de Montfort the effective ruler of England. Pope Innocent IV issues the papal bull Ad Extirpanda, which authorizes but also limits the torture of heretics in the medieval Inquisition. Henry, Duke of Anjou, son of the late Henry II of France, is elected to the throne of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth by the Polish nobility. Emperor Ferdinand III defeats Maximilian I of Bavaria in the Battle of Zusmarshausen. Alonso de Ojeda sets sail from Cadiz on his voyage to what is now Venezuela. John II of Castile defeats the Infants of Aragon at the First Battle of Olmedo. Empress Ariadne marries Anastasius I. The 16-year-old Otto III is crowned Holy Roman Emperor. Dong Zhuo is assassinated by his adopted son, Lu Bu. John Churchill, the first Duke of Marlborough, defeats the French army under Marshal Francois de Neufville, Duc de Villeroy, at the Battle of Ramil. Magnus Ladislas is crowned King of Sweden in Uppsala Cathedral. Citizens of Buenos Aires expel Viceroy Baltasar Hidalgo de Cisneros during the May Week, starting the Argentine War of Independence. Germanicus celebrates a triumph in Rome for his victories over the Cherusci, Chatti, and other German tribes west of the Elbe. The three Scottish leaders of the Jacobite uprising are imprisoned for treason in the Tower of London. The Spanish Armada, with 130 ships and 30,000 men, sets sail from Lisbon, Portugal, heading for the English Channel. The Roman Emperor Julian defeats the Sasanian army in the Battle of Ctesiphon under the walls of the Sasanian capital, but is unable to take the city. Titus and his Roman legions breach the second wall of Jerusalem. John Solomons is elected chief of St. Eustatius in the Caribbean Netherlands.